High on a dusty hill in southeastern Turkey lies a place so old, so strange, that it has shattered everything we thought we knew about the origins of civilization. Here, towering stone pillars rise from the earth, carved with mysterious animals and symbols, arranged in perfect circles. It's called Göbekli Tepe, and it's at least 11,000 years old. That means it was built thousands of years before the pyramids, before Stonehenge, even before humans were supposed to be building anything permanent at all. So who made it? How did they build it? And why, after centuries of use, did they bury it under tons of soil? This is the story of Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest known temple and one of humanity's greatest mysteries. For thousands of years, it lay hidden beneath an unassuming hilltop in southeastern Turkey. To local villagers, it was just another mound in the countryside, nothing worth paying attention to. Farmers occasionally noticed carved stones sticking out of the ground, but they assumed these were medieval gravestones. It wasn't until 1994 that everything changed. A German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt, working with the German Archaeological Institute, visited the site. The moment he saw the massive carved blocks, he realized they weren't medieval at all. They were far older and far more sophisticated than anyone had imagined. Schmidt began digging, and what he uncovered would rewrite history. Beneath the soil, archaeologists found massive T-shaped limestone pillars, some more than 16 feet tall and weighing up to 20 tons. These pillars weren't randomly scattered. They were arranged in circular enclosures, like giant stone rings. At the center of each circle stood two even larger pillars, facing each other like silent guardians. The surfaces of the stones were covered with intricate carvings, snakes slithering down the sides, foxes and boars frozen mid-stride, birds, scorpions, lions, vultures, and strange abstract symbols. These weren't crude markings, they were deliberate, artistic, and deeply symbolic, proof that whoever carved them was highly skilled. And here's the kicker, all of this was done without metal tools. Every carving, every block was shaped with nothing more than stone tools. When scientists ran radiocarbon dating, they got a shocking result. Around 9,500 BC. That's more than 11,000 years ago, long before the wheel, writing, or farming. At that time, humans were supposed to still be hunter-gatherers, living in small mobile groups. Conventional history said that large-scale construction only came after agriculture, because farming provided the surplus food needed to support organized labor. But Göbekli Tepe flipped that theory upside down. Here was a massive ceremonial complex built before farming. This led to a radical new idea. Maybe it wasn't agriculture that sparked civilization. Maybe it was religion. Maybe the desire to gather, worship, and perform rituals together is what drove humans to settle down and invent farming, not the other way around. Göbekli Tepe wasn't just an ancient site. It was a time bomb hidden in history, waiting to explode our assumptions. Moving 20-ton pillars without wheels, cranes, or beasts of burden seems impossible, yet somehow these people managed it. Archaeologists believe they quarried the limestone blocks from nearby bedrock using flint tools, then dragged them using ropes, wooden sledges, and pure manpower. Some estimates suggest hundreds of people would have been needed for each pillar. The placement of the stones shows precision engineering. Some are carefully slotted into bedrock sockets to keep them stable. The level of organization, planning, and cooperation required here is staggering. This wasn't a small band of hunter-gatherers working part-time. This was a community-wide effort with leadership, vision, and shared purpose. And yet, who were they? That remains one of the greatest mysteries. Göbekli Tepe predates written history by thousands of years. There are no records of its builders, no names, no myths that can be clearly linked. Most scholars think the people were early hunter-gatherer groups of the Fertile Crescent, the region known as the cradle of civilization, but others speculate further. Could they have been the remnants of an earlier advanced culture lost to time, survivors of a cataclysm preserving their knowledge through sacred architecture? Some even connect the site to myths of Atlantis, or suggest it was inspired by contact with beings beyond our world. Mainstream archaeology doesn't support these ideas, but the truth is, no one really knows. What's striking is what archaeologists didn't find. There are no houses, no kitchens, no signs of permanent living. Göbekli Tepe wasn't a village, a fortress, or a palace. It seems to have been purely ceremonial, a temple complex, a sacred gathering place where communities came together for rituals, feasting, or even astronomical observation. Some researchers think the carvings may represent star constellations, with the enclosures aligned to celestial events like solstices or equinoxes. Others argue it was a site for ancestor worship or shamanic rituals, a bridge between the world of the living and the spirits. Whatever its purpose, Göbekli Tepe suggests that spiritual belief was at the heart of human society long before farming, writing, or kings. But then comes the strangest part. Around 8000 BC, after centuries of use, something unusual happened. The enclosures were deliberately buried with tons of dirt and debris. Why? Some think it was an act of ritual closure, like sealing a sacred site when its purpose was fulfilled. Others believe it might have been to protect it from enemies, or even from the elements. The truth is, we don't know. Ironically, that burial preserved the site almost perfectly for thousands of years. Without it, erosion might have erased the mystery forever. And here's the wildest part. Only about 10% of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated. Ground-penetrating radar shows dozens more enclosures still buried under the hill. What else is down there? More carvings, tools, objects that could finally tell us who these people were, or something even stranger, evidence that could force us to rewrite history yet again. Until those areas are excavated, Göbekli Tepe will keep its secrets. Over the years, the site has inspired countless theories. Some researchers argue that the carvings and the circular design reflect shamanic practices, with animals representing spirits or visions seen in altered states of consciousness. Others suggest that the large feasts and gatherings at Göbekli Tepe created demand for more reliable food supplies, sparking the invention of farming. Some propose that the layout of the site and the carvings encode astronomical knowledge, like a prehistoric observatory or calendar. There are even more controversial ideas, such as the claim that the carvings record a comet impact around 10,000 BC, or that the site was influenced by a forgotten, advanced civilization. Mainstream archaeologists caution against jumping too far into speculation, but even they agree. Göbekli Tepe is one of the most important discoveries in the history of archaeology. Since its uncovering, it's become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Excavations continue under the Turkish government and international teams, but debates rage on. Should more of the site be dug up, risking damage, or should most of it remain buried, safe for the future? Even now, Göbekli Tepe divides opinion, fuels speculation, and fascinates everyone who hears about it. In the end, Göbekli Tepe isn't just about stone circles on a hill. It's about human nature. It shows us that belief, community, and imagination may have been the true engines of civilization. That long before writing, or kings, or empires, humans were already building monuments to the sacred. And yet, we still don't know who they were. We don't know why they built it. And we don't know why they buried it. Göbekli Tepe is a reminder that history is full of gaps, and that the deeper we dig, the stranger the story becomes. If you enjoyed exploring one of humanity's greatest ancient mysteries, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.